Hi, I'm Daniel. And when I did a video about ranking Yaker films, it didn't do well on views, but I'm doing a similar video, because views guys take more well known, especially because of this recent news that I'll talk about at the end of the video. And I don't just make videos for the views, so let's do it again. Blue Sky is a CGI animated studio that has been making films since 2002, and I'll be ranking all 13 of their films. 13. Ice Age Continental Drift. This movie is following almost every ingredient on how to make a bad sequel. It has almost exactly the same story as one of the other films in the franchise. There is too many characters and none are likeable, and it is also uninteresting and bland. 12. Ice Age Creation Course. 2016 was a spectacular year in animated films, where every major studio shows some of their best, aside from Blue Sky, which made another Ice Age. There is a group of about 20 characters, and most of them do nothing. This franchise needs to learn about removing characters. It has an awful story and comedy. The only reason it's better than its predecessor is that Book is an entertaining character. 11. Epic. This movie is bad for mostly being nothing. It has amazing animation, but the characters aren't interesting. The story is a generic environmental message, and that title is misleading. I don't know why Pixar wanted the rights to this, but maybe it had potential before Blue Sky messed up and turned it into a forgettable at best film. 10. Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. While it is still not good, this film didn't ruin the franchise. If it ended here, Ice Age wouldn't be remembered as bad, it would just be remembered as okay. 9. Robots. I am mixed on robots, but the story is actually pretty good, but the universe confuses me because it implies robots age physically. The animation looks creepy and the characters are badly designed, so it equals out to be an average film, but I fully understand why so many people like this. 8. Horton Hears a Who. An okay film that doesn't do much bad, but nothing really memorable. It is better than the live-action Dr. Seuss movies, but worse than the Illuminations Dr. Seuss films. 7. Rio 2. This film has nice animation and it's a pretty good sequel. However, the story is a complete mess for how it tries to include so many subplots, so it's only okay. 6. Rio. Again, good animation, but the story and characters are generic. In terms of how good the film is, it is way better than Rio 2, but I would way prefer rewatching that to this. 5. Ice Age The Meltdown. Now we are on to the films that I consider good, because this does an amazing job at continuing Manny's development from the first Ice Age. However, it can't be called anything above good because Sid and Diego don't do anything, and Crash and Eddie are really annoying, even though they get worse in the later films. 4. Ferdinand. Ferdinand has a lot of amazing elephants like the main theme, the characters, and how it isn't scared of being dark and mentioning death. Unfortunately, it has to include unfunny jokes that feel out of place, and dumb parts down to appeal to the younger audience. It could have been a masterpiece, but the way it is still very good. 3. Ice Age. The first Ice Age is great because it juggles four protagonists greatly in a way that the sequel didn't bother. It also has a very simple story that is executed in a way that doesn't make it feel lazy. It is only held back by the animation being bad, even compared to other CGI films at the time. 2. Peanuts Movie. This works as a feel-good film of these characters just living their lives while things are happening. It has a nice animation style that resembles the 2D animation designs while transitioning them into CGI. It would easily be number 1 if it didn't feel the need to cut to Snoopy on the aeroplane every 10 minutes because this is the equivalent of the Splat segments. 1. Spies in Disguise. At first this was seen as a joke of Will Smith turns to a pigeon, but it ended up being an amazing animated spy movie that made up for Cars 2's mistake. It uses the generic duo used in most modern animated films and makes them both interesting characters. The comedy is surprisingly funny, the animation looks brilliant, and it has a very real message about brutality against criminals. Spies in Disguise doesn't feel like a Blue Sky film, because the other best films are simple stories, while this is epic. Not that! Firstly, here is the tier list. It's not really looking good and more films are like B.O.B. Originally, the ending would have been about how Blue Sky could be getting better with Peanuts, Fern, and the Spies in Disguise. But 2 weeks ago, it was announced Disney is closing down Blue Sky Studios and cancelling a film meant to come out in January. Although these films peak at 8.5 out of 10, this is upsetting because they had a lot of potential and the Mona was almost finished. At least give them an intentional final film, even though the one that ended up being their yacht was their best. Also, a lot of workers are being fired, and I doubt much will move to Disney or Pixar, and this feels like it is sending a message. If Disney ends up getting DreamWorks or Illumination, they could end up shutting them down and making Shrek and Minions show on Disney Plus. It may make it so this video won't be outdated because of more films, but it feels like the list of animated films each year won't feel complete without Blue Sky. R.I.P. Blue Sky Studios. The end.